Hello and welcome to the video you didn't know you needed in your life and you probably didn't think you would ever see, but here it is, double Bad-el-Kazar. Let's start by saying that Bad-el-Kazar is the best continuous healer in the game. Note how I said continuous healer and not just healer? That is because I think there's a big difference between the two. To take full advantage of the continuous heal offered by Bad-el, you need a tanky team, and it needs to be fast, in order to take as many turns as possible and get that juicy heals you need. I have been outrageously lucky, and got my first Bad-el after 2-3 months of playing, and now I've been blessed by a second one. I'm sure everyone knows what Bad-el-Kazar does and how good he is, but I always want to put my opinion out, so let's go and have a look at his skills first, and then how I geared up my boys. Let's start with his A1, Dark Sphere. Very cool named attack, although I wish it was animated like Venus's Blinding with Infatuation, which is literally a dark sphere of energy exploding, while Bad-el's A1 looks basically like Raise Banish, her A3. I like the animation of the attack because it looks like he knives all the enemies and saps their energy life and give it back as health to his allies, so it's very cool indeed. His A1 attacks all the enemies, and the amazing part is that he heals himself and his allies by 20% of the damage dealt to all enemies. So it's a sum of all the damages done to all the enemies, not just one, all of them. It's incredibly good because that heal is per enemy, and it also takes into account the Mastery War Master, which increases his heals a lot. This ability shines in places where there are a lot of enemies, like the ways pretty much in any dungeon, and the best of all is of course Spider. Let's go to his A2, Malice. Lovely, like your name for one of the best attacks in the game. Bad-el knows he's evil. He knows the enemy is just going to look at his enemy's health magically going back to full and his hard-earned debuffs with all the accuracy wasted, all gone in a glimpse of an eye. Very mischievous indeed. He removes all debuffs from all allies, places 2 15% continuous heal buffs on all allies for 2 turns, and then, to punish the enemies for even trying to debuff the allies, he places 2 5% poison debuffs on all of them. He's so good. It's on a 5-turn cooldown, which would be fair, but if you book him, it goes to a 3-turn cooldown, which is literally just insane. It's so good. He then has a passive, because why not? It's called Prey Upon, because he wants his allies and himself to avenge what the enemies did or try to do to them, so after being mischievous, he's even more evil, because those poisons he gave to the enemy are a curse that make them receive 15% more damage if under any poison debuffs. This skill doesn't specify that also the allies make 15% more damage, but I assure you they do. He also has an aura, which is not bad, although not the best, but for all he does already, it's more than enough. He increases all allies' critical rate by 25% in all battles. If you're trying to do Spire 20 and your cold hearts don't reach the 100% crit rate needed in order for her Heartseeker, her A3, to go first instead of her A2, Art of Pain, then putting Bad-el as leader could help you. Why not? And now let's finally showcase some double Bad-el gameplay. Let's start with the arena. It's a good place to start, although Bad-el is not too used at high levels because of the speed meta. He's more useful in a slower team, more resistance and defense focused like the one I'm using now. Most matches at higher levels are decided in 1 turn. Very boring indeed. Double Bad-el is a very unnecessary combo. I don't think you've ever seen anyone, even if someone has them, I'm pretty sure he's never going to use them. It's very overkill for most encounters, but having that infinite health and debuffs removal is very nice indeed. He's a support hero, he's not a main damage hero or anything else. He's very good at what he does, which is healing and then removing debuffs, while increasing the overall damage output of the team. One thing I wish could stack is his passive, but I checked many teams and running 2 doesn't seem to stack, unfortunately. I wish I could contact Plarium to ask if it's intentional or if it maybe can be added so to make that the passive abilities stack, but who knows. That would be amazing. and that would definitely make double Bad-el a very deadly combo. Having that 30% increased damage towards enemies under poison debuffs would be just unreal. I won't show all the different, let's call them faction dungeons like Magic Keep or Spirit Keep, but I can say that double Bad-el is really good in Fire Keep because of his poisons that help bypass the boss's insane defense. The real dungeons are the 4 that reach level 20, which are Fire Knight Castle, Ice Golem's Peak, Dragon's Lair, and last but not least, Spider's Den. Let's start with Ice Golem's Peak. So Bad-el is so good for Ice Golem's Peak. He keeps your team alive during the initial waves, he clears all the annoying debuffs from Golem's side minions, and then he places loads of poisons, which are extremely useful to not trigger the Golem's Frigid Vengeance, which can literally wipe your team no matter how much health you have in one attack. Now, I'm sure you're gonna say, Cello, stop showing off, come on man, double Bad-el and you're only using 4 heroes instead of 5. Well, I'm not actually showing off. Okay, maybe a bit. But there's a reason behind it. I tried using Dracomorph in order to have more poisons and do more damage, but the problem with that is that I would end up triggering more easily his Frigid Vengeance and therefore losing very often. Without Dracomorph, I just decided to not add anyone else, as more damage is useless, as well as more healing or more speed. So I just went for it and it works flawlessly. All I have to do is concentrate on his speed. That's why I have Ray as leader, as she gives allies 33% increased speed dungeons, and Golden Reaper, so I can boost the turn meter and have 30% speed on continuously. And the amazing thing is that even if both Golden Reaper and Ray die, as in the video, I'll still win, because the Bad-els are just immortal, and they're just gonna kill off the Ice Golem with all the poison damage. It's amazing. Obviously, it's a useless strategy and not the fastest, but it works just to show off how good Bad-el really is. Now let's move on to Dragon's Den. Dragon's Den is it's easy. As I said previously, it's just easy. The toughest part of Dragon Dungeon is the second wave where the Hordens hit hard, but once they're gone, it's not a big deal. You can pretty much beat Dragon with any team. Obviously, Bad-el is amazing because it removes all the nasty debuffs that the dragon puts on, and as well as helping dealing tons of damage with his poison sticks, so that he doesn't use his Scorch, which is troublesome, but even if it hits you, you're not gonna die. Now, onto Fire Knight Castle. It wasn't a good one. This is gonna be a quick show off because it's already tough to use one Bad-el in Fire Knight's Castle. 2 is just impossible. It has single attack, hit, and Fire Knight's needs multiple, and his poisons don't land on him unless his shield is down, so pretty useless. One Bad-el is useful for removing the speed reduction debuff the boss puts, but that's about it, so he's not good. The Bad-el is not good in general in Fire Knight's Castle. Now, Spider's Den. Oh, Spider's Den, what a nightmare. Without Cold Heart's return meter reduction focus heroes, Spider's Den is tough. Really tough. Double Bad-el is good, but it might be overkill for Spider. And the fights are just way too long, even though they're not that crazy long, they're like 10-15 minutes long. With multiple Cold Hearts it would last like maximum a minute, and with a good team with turn reduction and a tank with high resistance, it lasts maximum 5 minutes anyways. The poisons are really good, and having the double debuff removal for all the Spiderling's poisons is really good. Obviously a Bad-el purely built for spiders would have way more resistance than mine have, but I tried building them as balanced as I could since Bad-el is literally good almost anywhere. And boom, dead, less than 5 minutes. Okay, so last but not least, Faction Wars. I haven't really spent too much time building good teams for Faction Wars because I'm waiting for Playroom to actually fix the difficulty, since they admitted it being a bit too hard. Double Bad-el is godly in Faction Wars. With basically endless healing and debuff removal, it would need a better overall team, or at least fully ranked up Ascended with the good gear to actually get past the hardest stages. But nevertheless, I managed to reach stage 12 and then ran out of keys. I think I could have done stage 13, but there's no way I could have done boss, like the boss is stage 14, it would require something like at least 2 Zelodas, which I have, but not even one is built, or just a really good team all around, and it's way too much effort for just a glyph and an epic book. It's not worth it. And now let's have a look at how I gear them. So this is my first one, the one I originally had. I actually had him with retaliation set on and speed, but I didn't manage to get a undead horde's banner from spiders with accuracy, and I just decided to change gear to double set of accuracy and then speed, because I was having troubles landing poisons on clan boss, on dragon layers, on pretty much anything, especially like higher stages. So I just decided to change the sets to more accuracy. So let's have a look at the total stats. It has almost 50k health, which is pretty good, not bad. 2000 attack is okay. His main point of focus is not his attack, because anyway his damage comes from the War Master anyway. His defense is pretty good, could be higher. Speed is okay. I think every hero more or less needs at least 180 to be competitive. Critical rate is not important. Crit damage is not important. Debuff resistance is 95. It used to be higher, but I just traded off with accuracy, which is now 218. And I think the minimum is 210, 215 especially for the highest stages of dungeons and especially clan boss. The gearing, the ring, and the amulet, I didn't go for anything specific. I wanted to add some more health, because the more health he has, the better it is. Crit damage is only because I literally have nothing else, as you can see. I don't have anything else. I don't know why. I literally spent like a week farming spiders and nothing just came up. For the masteries, I went down the very typical route that pretty much everyone shows off. Obviously War Master, which is fundamental. It has a 60% chance of inflicting bonus damage when attacking. Bonus damage is equal to 10%, blah blah blah. You know it. It's really good, because obviously every single time, for example this is mainly for spiders, but like every single time a spiderling attacks Bad-el, then he will trigger, obviously with a counter attack such as Martyr. He will trigger his counter attack, and then he's gonna attack everyone. And even if he lands even just one War Master, even if it's not on the Spider Queen, he will heal up, and then if it hits the Spider Queen, then he will do a lot of damage, especially with Dracomorph, and with his weaken down and with his defense down. His damage goes from like 60k to like 180, 190k. It's absurd. It's amazing. The others are nothing to be excited about. Increases the damage inflicted by his champion's default skill by 2% each time he's doing battle. Obviously his A1 is the one that's used the most, and it's literally the only one dealing damage anyway, so this is it has to be this one. On the other side, something that I suggest, which is really good, is both Master Hexer and Lasting Gifts, because with Lasting Gifts, it has a 30% chance to extend the duration of any buff cast by this champion. That literally means that his continuous heal can go to 3 turns instead of just 2. And with Master Hexer, it has a 30% chance to extend the duration of any debuff. So his poisons, instead of being 2 turns, they could be 3 turns. It's really good. Plus, in this case, I went with lower steel, because at least I had more accuracy, more speed. But as you are gonna see now, with the other one, I went for Relentless gear. It's an interesting choice, but to be honest, I have been having all those Relentless gear for so long, and I never really used it. And I thought, well, it's good because obviously he gets one more turn. Thing is, it messes up with your turn setup. If you're not using Master Hexer and the other one, then you're gonna risk that you're gonna mess up your turn. So at one point your Bad-el is not gonna have the counter up, and he's just gonna die. So it's kind of risky, but in my case with my setup, it's perfect. Masters actually missed one. I just realized I missed one, but it's okay. Obviously War Master as well. And with those two, with this one I went with Evil Eye because I want to use them in Arena a lot. It's really useful for Arena because it decreases by 20%. Sorry, by 5%, because in this case it's an AoE skill per target every single time. Well, the first time they get hit. And something I didn't say about the other one as well, they both have this one. It's rapid response and arcane celerity, and that is why it doesn't matter if my Bad-el has relentless gear on, because he's gonna get boosted so much anyway. You need to take in consideration that basically with Martyr and 2 Bad-els, that's 2 continuous heals, 1 counter up and 1 defense, so that's 6 buffs just with 3 heroes. So whenever those 3 goes off, it's literally a chance to get a turn meter increase. It's insane. Same thing with poisons. So good, so good. Just to show, I went with speed. Obviously, let's see the total stats for this one first. Has 51k health, so a little bit more health, a little bit more attack, and a lot more defense. He has a little bit less speed than the other one. Crit rate is useless. Good damage is useless. Debuff resistance is really high, 168. And debuff accuracy 212. It's good. It's better than the other one, as you can see also from the power. Although power is don't look at power, but this is the best thing. It's the only one I have. That's it. I have to put it on someone, and I just chose him. Gloves, I went HP percentage, defense percentage, and speed. I'm pretty sure with the other one I went the same way. Yeah, HP, defense, and speed. This is pretty much what I would use on most defense or support heroes, but mainly support heroes. And that's it. So, for the next video, soon, I will talk about the summon event that is going on. I will open some void shards for sure. I'll have a talk about the fusion event. It looks good. I mean, the hero is insane. It's very tough. It's gonna be very tough because it's not long enough, I think, for most people. And the heroes are all brand new, most of them. But let's see how it goes. But for now, a sweet and sour salute from your favorite fruit, and now musical instrument, cello.